Testing, testing, testing. Okay, I think my voice is making it through to the stream. Testing, testing. Oh, Zookbot now knows. Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Well, hello there. I am back to streaming today. Got a few hours to try to get the update up for hopefully the playtest and the demo, or at least get as much done as possible. Oh, hello there. All right, so top thing is fixing the temple here. Temple provides worshippers, which that should be working in. So this is the first two-part structure, actually. It's labeled church here, but it's temple. That provides worshippers. That's been there for a bit, though I guess it doesn't exist in the current demo, and it does exist in the playtest. Mausoleum is new. This is where you can sell relics. Relics are a new resource, but you can pick up from the newly added discoverable sites. So now there's these mysterious dirt mounds which you can dig away at, and then you find ancient landmarks, which then they provide various resources. One of those resources are relics, which can be sold to the mausoleum, which is the first time we'll have a resource that you drop off in a structure, which then boosts that structure's production. So you drop off relics, and then it will produce worshippers, which is pretty cool. So it's the first two-step economy. So that's fun. Ironically, it's kind of funny that this is the first one that appears, just because discovery happened before the original planned two-step supply chains, which would have been lumber, chop down trees, bring it to a sawmill, which then you can deliver to a town so they can expand, and rum distillery, which I'm very excited about the rum distillery because there can be lots of funny upgrades related to your drunken fruit. There's some things we need to add so it's clear to the player. So right now, when you can actually interact with these structures, but they don't have any mouse overs. So it's very hard to tell. You just, when you mouse over the temple here, the church-like thing, which apparently worships lollipops, it shows that you can quote unquote purchase. You can pick up worshippers, but it doesn't say anymore. And when you mouse over the mausoleum, it shows that you can sell something, but it doesn't say what. So that is because the mouse over is actually attached to the base here. So this is the first time, as mentioned, that it's kind of a two-part structure. But these two-part structures are going to be common because I want to make everything as context sensitive as possible. I want to have as few menus as I can. So having two separate structures, they're technically part of one structure, where the user clicks on one or the other for buying something or selling something else, that's probably the easiest, quickest way to do it. I don't want to make it so like you click on it and then like a menu pops up and then you click on something else, because it's not diegetic. Oh, I forgot, I gotta update the wishlist counter. We got 776 wishlists. If you've not wishlisted the game, do so right now. Fleet Tycoon on Steam now. In fact, I should say that. All right, so I need to decide how I'm going to do the mouse over business. So this component here is what shows the little page when you mouse over the structure. It's only attached to the unit right now, though. I still have all my cute little animations. I went to black first. I'll investigate in a bit. It keeps acting weird. Might have been just delay. So we need to look at how mouse overs work. Really? How is reverse? Which I type first. I think in my RTS I had it the other way around. And for some reason I did UI unit behavior to keep unit behavior together because unit behavior is a common class right there. But I think in my one or more of my other games I had it like the other way around, where it's like unit UI behavior. So I keep typing the wrong one. On a completely unrelated note, I am super concerned because earlier today, where the connector for my power plug goes into my laptop, it sparked, and I don't know why. I was using the video card at the time. Super weird. I'm hoping that I didn't fry my video card. Everything seems fine. Like none of the screens flickered or anything. Like it was just super weird. Like it just sparked, and I immediately unplugged it, and I waited a while, just let things cool down, plugged it back in. Nothing seemingly has changed, but it just spooks me. Like, why in the world did my freaking connection to my laptop spark? And it smelled like smoke for a second. It's super weird. I don't know if it was like, I don't know. So I'm in Japan, and they use a different voltage and hertz than the United States, but laptop power brick should be able to handle either. So anyway, something I keep thinking about because it was just so surprising to see a freaking spark come out of the laptop out of nowhere this morning. All right, so we're gonna see how this gets moused over. I'm just trying to remember. I remember there being a setter. Now, why don't I see where it's set? Oh, it's in the game user interface. Game user interface manager. And then is this set? Yes. Okay, it does. It does do what I thought it does. It just has an extra step. It goes for the game user interface manager. That's a-okay. So it is being told that it's moused over, but I'm guessing it's that it doesn't understand that. Yeah, it's looking on the unit itself, not a child. So that's the big change, is that the mausoleum is, and the church slash temple is on. Sorry, my music's real loud. It is a child of the unit game object, which means I need to I would like to just do get component and children. So interesting. I want to actually know which receiver and producer the moused over, because I would like it so that if you mouse over any piece of the temple, it will still say temple, but then underneath it, if you're mousing over the actual temple, it'll say, you know, you can pick up worshippers here. If you mouse over the mausoleum part of the temple, then it will say temple, sell your artifacts here, or relics here, I mean. Also, if it's if it's free, I think I can hide the price. No, maybe not. I think I'll just leave the 0 gold there, because if I just say, it would end up just saying worshippers, and so might be confusing. This is actually where I should have been mentioning that. No, I just say, if it was free, I'd just say 5 worshippers, 5. Yeah, not important. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. See, this is like the paranoia I'm having now. Like, why I'm typing and it's typing like super slow. Like, is that because of my weird video card acting or whatever was sparking? Like, I don't know why. Certain things seem slower than they used to be. And I can't figure out what or why. Yeah, it was typing super slow. Is very concerning. Like, this is fast, it's only when I'm typing, which is of course the most annoying. and it is super slow. That was me going to Task Manager to see if something was particularly like eating CPU, and I typed it so fast. It says desktop window manager is taking up 20% of my GPU. I don't know what it used to be before. I'm thinking desktop window manager is eating GPU because of me streaming. I'm testing something. Yes, turning off. Turning off various things does lighten the load on my GPU. Sort of. I don't know, it just kind of moves it around. It's bouncing between OBS and NVIDIA container, desktop window manager. We're gonna see what happens. Very unusual. The typing that drive me nuts. So I used to have more issues with streaming CPU. Sorry, I'm clearly distracted. I used to have issues like no reloading when I would dev and stream that. And it's part of the reason why I ended up stopping dev and streaming for a while, just because the typing was driving me nuts. I don't know why typing is so uniquely affected. Like, I don't feel any delay when I'm doing other things. Do have interface there. I need to type out the whole thing. Where was I? There we were. I must have added that later on and didn't update everything to use it. Apparently, yes, because this is from when there was only one resource agent. And there's more than one. It is typing so slow. So always need to clean up your event hooks. So I'm previously, since there's only one resource agent is a producer or receiver of resources. Since there was only one before, I would just hook it upon mouse over. But now I need to hook the correct one. The reason why we hook to the storage change event is so that we update the tooltip when something changes, such as adding or removing a resource from storage. I'm going to test if shutting off NVIDIA broadcast will help. I apologize, this stream has been so distracted. So turning off NVIDIA broadcasts does help. It does seem like I am taxing my GPU too much. Amusingly, turning off NVIDIA broadcast, although it seemed to help with the typing, does not help that much with the actual, apparently, the percentage GPU used according to Task Manager. Which is very surprising because, I mean, I just removed a huge chunk of something that was using the GPU. Also, Zoopbot's not going to react. Will he? No. I think it strongly wants to listen to NVIDIA broadcasts microphone. Well, we don't need that then. We'll just do it with do it without cute Zoopbot for now. All right. Oh, let's just see how things go. I've been more than enough distracted. Okay. Oops. It's marginally better, but it's still, there's delay. And there wasn't delay the other day. That's what's bothering me. Makes me super paranoid. This is getting very messy. That might do it. I have a lot of tabs open. I quite like the picture preview scroll bar. I think it's a very cool addition. It's surprisingly not on by default. I don't use the mouse over though. I don't think I've ever actually read the text when I'm mousing over like this. It is a good idea though. It just isn't my habit. If it showed the squiggles and stuff, it'd be more useful. Because then I could like, oh, that's the line that doesn't. That's the problem. Oh, I guess I don't need to unhook because it automatically unhooks there. I don't need to do that either. Well, except I need to unhook from the previous mouse over resource agent. That's why I need that. Similarly, I need to call unhook. I'm trying to be all precise and only hook into the events I absolutely need at that time. So I only need to hook into the storage change events of the unit that's currently selected, or moused over even, specifically. Effectively call update text anyway. this is all it's doing. It's just calling update text. So okay, I think that'll work. We need to test it. So we are. That is in review. So, missing mouse overs on discovery points. And right now, nothing tells the player that discovery points are actually discoverable. So, the changes I made may work for the temple, but the changes I made may not work for the discovery points, because discovery points technically are not units. So I could make them units, I suppose. What I kind of need is to have just a generic mouse over that's not part of a unit. I had a similar issue yesterday too. This thing is ugly. I don't like that. I think mouse overs should be, I should have a generic mouse over that doesn't need to be a unit. Start off by copying this guy. We're gonna try it. I am not guaranteeing this is the best idea, but my gut says it's not a bad idea. What I think is going to happen is there's going to be mouse over UI. Mouse over UI doesn't have to be a unit, but it can be a unit. It's a superset, or more maybe a parallel thing. more of like a tooltip, essentially. Heck, it could be a singleton. Because I could just move it to each, since only one thing can have a mouse over at a time. I like that. God, typing speed is much better, but it's still weird. No, I don't need this. So the target's going to be a resource agent or ship or a structure. It can be any thing. And I'll just make it smart enough to show the right stuff. Based on context. I wish I knew why the typing speed's so much slower today. Remember, I said that I had a similar issue long ago with nowhere loading a year ago. Very weird. See, I don't need this property at all. So the range indicator is still going to be part of the ship or the unit UI. This is just text. It's just a tooltip. So you don't need any of this weird stuff. And once I update the unit UI behavior, it's going to get a lot simpler too. So this is, I think, a great improvement. Hello there. We are just, well, also we're primarily splitting up tooltips and unit UI behavior so we can get the update of Fleet Tycoon out. Also dealing with weird slowness with typing. So that's why I'm acting very distracted. How are you doing? So let's see here. That is still important. Don't think that's necessary anymore. This definitely is not important for this. Try something here. It's a bit messy, but it will get better, I think. Essentially, the goal here is that there's going to be one just floating mouse over tooltip, a singleton, as we call it. And then when you set the target, it's going to bounce around to whatever's being moused over. So when I mouse over something, I'm going to say target is equal to whatever's moused over. So I can have it set to a unit. This is just so it assigns all the things it's going to frequently look up. And then I can also have it mouse over a resource agent. So in main camera here, where we had this before, so mouse over unit will still be the same. There will also be essentially something like a mouse over tooltip target is equal to first hit unit or resource agent. Purposely not writing that correctly. This will move the mouse over tooltip to go onto that unit or the resource agent that is being moused over. So this will only represent the text that is underneath the unit you're mousing over. So that, like the name, the cargo / storage it has, that's it. Everything else, like the little cute, technically selection flag is not part of it. The selection health, well, there's no health right now. There is, but it's not used. Things like that will still be on the UI unit behavior. Because the UI unit behavior needs to exist on every unit that is ever selected. Because even when they're not moused over, they need to still show things like selection. I was just thinking, what if one day a ship can produce or receive resources? That would be funny. One day, maybe. I'm sure there's something creative. And then I can add a situation for else if target is discovery point, which is what the whole reason why we're splitting this off from the unit. Like I could make discovery points units, but units imply that they have hit points. And yes, I can make them not targetable, but it just seems kind of overkill. It could technically go either way. So for giggles, I'm changing which things use my graphics card. I'm gonna let Visual Studio use my graphics card. Just to see that helps typing. It is really annoying. So I type pretty fast, as you can probably guess. So if there's any kind of delay in typing, it is very weird. It does seem to be better. Sometimes. That might be just because I'm loading up Visual Studio. Looking through options and disabling GitHub. So I don't need it. I use GitHub to have backups, but I don't need it integrated into Visual Studio. And it's also using, but now the settings are all blended with Copilot, AI, and such. So it's not as easy as it used to be. Just like, nope, I don't need source control. Okay, so I think it's routed. Like, I don't need you diffing things or anything like that. I don't know if in this version it has the same issue, but I know in prior versions of Visual Studio, having Git connected, like having it, you know, show like what's changed and such, it would slow it down significantly. So I would actually just turn off source control. Current scenario. Lots of errors, not surprisingly. Let's see if that helps. I shouldn't have to go to such extreme lengths, though. I don't know, it's still pretty weird. I guess I don't need. Technically, I don't think I need any of these anymore. I just need this. Clearly I have some curly brackets missing somewhere. Because it's jank. Yeah, I don't know. Don't know what's impacting typing speed. Sorry that I'm so preoccupied with that. So I was starting to think about this fact. So World Space UI is a kind of a special, unique class in that its job is to essentially place a 2D thing at a 3D location. That will allow me to access the game object. This doesn't apply here. That doesn't apply here. Okay. Interesting. Apparently you can change the video encoder while you're streaming. Yeah, I don't think that's actually going to change until I restart the stream. It seems there's a way to reduce the CPU usage of OBS. A little ugly. Like I could potentially combine these two and stuff like that, but isn't the end of the world. Okay, so now I actually have to make this in Unity land. I'm gonna have to split up this. I keep getting :1. That implies that the file's open twice, but I don't know why I think it's open twice. Okay, for this, now we just, so the is mouse over is still important. The mouse over resource agent is important. And the whole update text stuff doesn't matter. Oh, in fact, all the hooking gets so much easier now because the hooking's only on that. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, the only thing that doesn't need any hooking add all stuff I deleted in the other. That should stay here. Yeah, that's really nice. Just don't need to worry about this hooking junk. Which is really nice. All right, cool. Cool. Okay, nice. We went up a wish list. We're at lucky-ish number 7777. Thank you, whoever wishlisted. Much appreciated. All right, so this is the unit UI, and it's gonna be split. Mouse over tooltip. Okay, we are still inside of unit UI, and this is the text. So that's where cargo shows up, and we don't want it anymore. So goodbye. There's very little part of this now, which is a-okay to me. Eventually health would go here too. Right now, health doesn't factor in. All right, so now mouse over tooltip. It's probably a better name for it. No selection, but it has this. And because this is going to jump around and always be visible, presumably. I guess it can stay deactivated, but very good. Now we need to create the singleton. So we're going to go to the game, and we're going to really, I couldn't make it formally a manager. It really could be. Because the way this works, so managers, and this is a very overloaded term in game development, especially Unity game development. I typically have avoided it, but this time around, it's like, whatever, it's a small game, I'm embracing it. Fleet Tycoon's all about just make it fast, make it fun. Don't need to be overly concerned about perfection when it comes to engineering. Don't need to plan it. I don't need to plan this thing to be an over-engineered game spanning years. So managers are usually singletons, means you only have one instance of them, and you access them from anywhere. Oh, I just got the boot. or chat got booted. I think I'm actually still connected. There you go. Chat got reconnected. So I was saying that managers are singletons. Singletons are just like you have a single one of these things, and they are in charge of that thing. So in this case, the mouse over tooltip is a singleton, and so in this case, it could technically be kind of a quote-unquote manager because its job is to manage the one tooltip, and then the one tooltip just hops around. World Space UI, whenever a new target is assigned, it deletes the old World Space UI and it creates a new one. That does remind me, I need to assign the prefab, or else won't know which prefab to use for the mouse over text. So I could rename this thing manager probably. All right. Because I don't actually reference the game object it is on or anything. All right, I guess it's time to test this thing. Well, let's do the discovery point thing. So I kind of partially support it. I didn't fully support it. I did this, and that's all I did. So for main camera, I think I have, yes, discoverable. Okay, and then I need to say what actually happens for discoverables. I put the name there, and then it just needs to state. Technically, it just needs to state it's how discovered it is. Yeah, right now, I mean, before this, you had no solid idea of exactly how discovered it was. Previously, the only way you really knew was just looking at the dirt get smaller, and a player may not notice that, so this is more overt. I also need to add that to the translations. All right, so that means it's now in review. Okay. Just trying to review my head. If there's anything that I forgot, like discovered. Translation. I have my friend review the translations. But this is good for a quick one. It gets about half of them right. Yeah, there's lots of translations. So this is my first game that is, from the get-go, multilingual, which is really cool. It has helped my Chinese a bit, because I've been working a lot with a Chinese friend to check on things. Alright, I started seeing game, which is ain't gonna work. That is mysteriously slow. What is Unity doing? It was because it was generating the map, I guess. Not sure. That map generation seemed unusually slow. Starting the game seems unusually slow. That was... I mean, it's always taken like a second or something, but like, that was many seconds. Oh, you're hearing double music, aren't you? Come on, you guys can do better than that. Not surprising. There's going to be a few errors just like right off the bat. Because of little stupid mistakes like that. I'm gonna restart Unity. Because that usually when Unity gets super slow at restarting, it's just you just need to starting the game. Oftentimes it means you just need to restart. Unity. Huh. So I'm looking at the graphic settings in Windows, and apparently the name of Balatro is Love, L-O with the double dots on the top, VE 11.5. I'm guessing there must be some kind of joke or something with that. Unity 6.2 is already set to use high performance. Plus, it's always wise to restart Unity occasionally anyway, because Unity only truly saves the game, or saves your work when you close it, which is super annoying. Like, Unity tries to be perhaps a little too smart. Like, only saving assets that change at convenient times for itself to save them, I guess. Unfortunately, that sometimes means that Unity crashes or freezes, and then you restart Unity and you can't. Some things were saved and some things weren't. So, yeah, that's fine. I did see the mouse over show up for a brief moment. Yes, that is not surprising. So I cached the text translator, which that's getting deleted and recreated all the time nowadays. So that makes sense. It did show up there for a brief second. Who is actually touching this thing? No one else. All those need to be assigned when the world space UI is created. So the text translator, was the other thing? Constant size fitter. Technically, this is naughty because this doesn't check if there it even says Unity objects should not use null propagation. But I'm actually confident simply because I know I'm returning real null. So if this is null, meaning that we set target to be null, then these will all become null. Okay. Good as far as that time. Yes, I know. So Unity's jump to call stack thing has become janky again. Before they didn't even use to have links. So right now, whenever you click, it like spontaneously starts selecting things for something and it scrolls. So you click and you almost always miss which one you're actually trying to click on. So like I want to click on this. Let's see if it actually goes there. It did. But it sure feels like it scrolls around or whatever every time I click. It's very annoying. All right, so. No, this is probably because it's a circular logic here. No. Oh, because they're inactive. That was a stupid mistake on my part. See, I clicked once and it didn't actually go to the thing I clicked on. It just selected it, which I think scrolls it to the top. So if I had scrolled down here, I think it would have scrolled to the top. I see. What's going on? I think I see what's going on. See? Yeah, well, that means that world space game object was null. I think I need breakpoints to figure this out quickly. Oh, interesting. I thought this, if the instance doesn't exist, it creates the instance. I swear that's how it worked. Because since if synchronize is called before when? Before enable. I swear it was lazy loaded because it seems like it would have run into issues earlier. code on GitHub. That's the same thing. It would. It was adding the world space UI and assigning the prefab. It's the same dealio that I'm doing now. Clearly, I need to put a breakpoint and investigate. Okay, and then it enables it, which then ensures it's instantiated. Okay, that seems all legit. Which means that this, yeah, good. It's not null. And that means that is not null. Which means it should be able to get through this. So here, text translator. Okay, so it's has to be upon the target changing. Coloring hasn't updated yet. Okay, that seems all fine, dandy. So target's null now. Let's space UI null, that's fine. All that's gonna be null. That's null. Doesn't set any prefabs, that's fine. And then this should be null, correct. Updates the hooks. Unhooks, there's nothing to unhook. There's nothing to do there, and it does nothing. Okay. I accidentally moused over something. That's okay, because we need to walk through this anyway. Mouse over some structure. Okay, and okay, it all seems fine. I went through several cycles of mousing over things, and then well, this is different. Discoverable, the discovery point. Target is a discovery point. Discovery points are just discovery points. They are not inherited by something else. They won't be captured by something else. Somehow it got past this. That doesn't make any sense. Because according to this, it definitely, if I click on the right thing, oh, that's why. That's why you don't use object as a type. It's too easy to make mistakes. I wish I knew what I was doing when it's stalled out here. By it, I mean Unity. Okay. Yes. No. Huh. It's after it's setting it to null. So it gets set to null, which should unhook everything. But clearly it is update hooks. It thinks it's on a resource agent. But it was set to null. Did I forget to set? Yes, I did. There we go, mystery solved. Slowdown was, but okay, well, that part is working right, but the dock isn't working. That is very unexpected. Desired thing. What is discovery? Why the dock? This dock is not even registering as a place to sell. It should be. Should be saying it's a place to sell relics. So docks are special in that they will quote unquote buy anything the whole town can buy. It's just that. Discovery point and it's very peculiar. So I can theorize why the dock doesn't work. The dock may not work because this is a child of the structure. But this, I'm surprised it is not working. I should have discovery range. So what's going on there, mister? What's going on there? I just disabled the breakpoints. Because I'm a fool. Turning on and off debug mode is very dangerous with Unity. It tends to freeze Unity or Visual Studio. You tend to get one. You tend to get it to work only once or twice. All right. So discover point is no. Did I just forget to assign it? No. Okay, so discovery point is that. Good. So now we want to catch the text update, which should inevitably occur. Okay, well that's. I see. Because update hooks, because those things had storage, they would call cargo change, call update text. I just need to do that. This, yeah, I was gonna say, if I'm lucky, it would have. It being fast script reload would be able to merge the change without restarting the game. Konnichiwa, Timothy Bauer. How you doing? Sorry if I missed your message earlier. I've been busy. How have you been? It's been a long time since we've spoken. By the way, tell me if my volume levels are jank. I think they're alright. I could be wrong. So regarding my busy, you may not know. I don't know if the news ever got to you. My wife is pregnant, and she's due in February. So I'm gonna be a father in 2 months, which is bonkers. Still absorbing that after all these months. Then busy because, of course, doing game stuff as always, and how to concisely summarize: going to school with learning Japanese is extremely difficult, and even more difficult is maintaining your visa when you have someone who's pregnant. So there's some, I can explain later, I suppose, but yeah, some shenanigans going on with visas, which is very, very scary and frustrating, especially with the child's birth around the corner. So that's just wacky. Yeah, we're still figuring out what to do, like talking to lawyers and stuff. And then still working at the Japanese restaurant, 2 days a week though. It's not like it's a huge time sink or something. It's a good experience though. So what have you been up to? What's keeping you busy? I presume no babies. Thank you for the congratulations. Always lots of dance for you. That has been your thing for years, and I've never seen you have it. I've never seen you do it. So to me, it's just like it doesn't exist. I will. Dance has been such a major part of your life for years, and since I've never seen it, it's like fictitious. So glad to hear you got a girlfriend though. Congratulations. Is she from the dancing classes? Oh, you're in a show. That's looks like Discovery Points worked and then blew up. Oh, that's been a long time. Well, congratulations. I'm very out of the loop. Oh, I guess that was a good reason why that didn't work. I copied and pasted and didn't change it. Yes, I need to not hard code this string, but for now, it is quick and dirty and acceptable. Easily changed in the future. I can ask more details about her offline, not in a public forum, because I presume you don't want it broadcasted across the internet. A little bit. I mean, definitely the fishing aspect was. The inspiration was definitely RTS controls. It was. It was actually going to Hawaii. So when my wife and I came back from Japan to visit the United States, we went through Hawaii and we spent a few days there. And for some reason, it just kind of clicked as I was looking at the beach. It's like, huh, it'd be cool to make a little maritime game. I was working on a kind of, I don't know, geometry wars with a skill tree, upgrade tree. You'll see the upgrade tree here momentarily. So that I was working on that, but I wasn't like super confident about it. Mostly because of the art style, because I was falling into the same trap that I always do using, you know, glowy stuff, the Tron, whatever. And I like the art style. I think it's neat, but it's hard to make it. I think a lot of people use it now because it's easier and like it's funny. I mean, you've been with me this whole journey, like 2016. Like, yeah, the Tron art style was cooler. You know, only a few games had used it, and so I wanted to use it because it was a bit easier. And that, like every game I've made since then has used it, which I think that ultimately hurt me because essentially I missed the sweet spot of using that art style. Now a lot of games use that art style, and so people have a higher expectation for it. So I was very worried about making a Geometry Wars style game. So when I went to Hawaii, I was like, you know what? I can make a like Transport Tycoon style game, except with ships, and I'll still use the upgrade trees, which you're going to see right now. So that was technically the inspiration. It was a mix of Hawaii, Transport Tycoon / Open TTD, which is like, I don't know if you ever played it. It's an old game, but Open TTD is like the open source version. It's been around, it's still popular to this day. You know, you build train networks primarily, but they have airplanes and boats and stuff. And then I was partially inspired by mechanically, I was inspired by the rush of gambling roguelites. So most recently, Clover Pit, Balatro before that, but like 2 years ago, which is like poker, the roguelite. Essentially games where you have the excitement of like exponentially scaling. So that's kind of the idea here, is that it's kind of like a transportation logistics game where you're making little trade routes and stuff. But within like the games only last about 30 minutes, and you eventually upgrade ridiculous combinations where it's like gold essentially raining in on you. So I can show you. Oh, I can fix that. Oh, actually, as I turn this up. Oh, that's better. There we go. Undiscovered landmark, 0% discovered. Yes. Yes. It wouldn't be me if I wasn't doing procedural generation all the time. So there's Santa Catalina Arch. So the discovery points are new. And so you can extract artifacts and relics from them. So I'm getting artifacts out of that. And then I can go sell them. Yes. So that's the bit of that Balatro the Balatro inspiration, just trying to make it very tactile. Like every time you mouse over the ship splashes. Like all the resources like jump around, pick up that experience that goes to the ship, and then it goes to my little counter in the top right. Make this full screen. Isengard? No. Oh, the town. Isgend. The names are procedurally generated too. Oh, I'm gonna lose. Oh no, I need coins. So you have to beat your competitors. I may not make enough rolls in time. Which would be funny because I'm gonna lose the first round. Yeah. I lost the first round. And I didn't pick up any waivers, so I actually lost because I was focused on testing it. Huh, that thing's still jank. Well, I need to test that anyway. So I need place over pixel art. Do you know how to do pixel art? You want to do some pixel art? I'll pay you. Why is this stretch so big? Oh, I think I know why. Apologies, it's going to take me a moment to apparently show you. Doesn't show you. Let me fix the game over window. Has to be that. Yes, it is. All right, fix that, and let's play again. This time I will not play like an idiot. So your goal is just to always out-earn your competitor. Your competitor are the red ships. So there is, see, there's so this is very much like those other. Sorry. It's very much like the recent trend of optimization, progressive optimization games. I don't know, people call them incrementals, but technically incremental is another genre. So a lot of these incremental style games, you start with the fastest thing being you manually mousing over the collection progress bar. I'm helping my ship collect faster. Now, that's great early game, but later game you have many ships, so you can't rely on that. Besides the fact that it's annoying, so you're really supposed to be incentivized to optimize your ships with upgrades. So I've already been promoted to captain, fantastic. So you can see down here I have upgrade buttons. So I can upgrade myself, and you'll see this upgrade tree. and everything starts hidden, but you can see kind of vaguely there's all these little dark boxes. That's how the tree is very big. So the skipper upgrades, when I upgrade myself, it only upgrades the ship I've selected at the time. So these skipper upgrades are actually much more interesting than you might think. You're like, oh, well, I only have one ship. Yes. And so right now, it'll only impact that ship. But once I have two ships, these upgrades will impact whatever ship I have selected. So they move around, which can be strategic. So I'm just going to kind of explore around. So these take experience. These little upgrades just give you a tiny, tiny upgrade. They're not very interesting, that's why I'm not even paying attention to them. But the medium-sized ones and the giant ones give you lots of something. So like this gives me plus 30% fishing rate. So if I do fishing, that would be useful. Now, since I'm trying to test exploration type stuff, I'm going to probably look for exploration type things or just generic upgrades that are just kind of universally useful, like vision range. So like by picking the vision range upgrade on the skipper upgrade tree, that makes whatever ship I have currently selected have a greater vision range. So in a way, the skipper upgrade tree allows you to turn the currently selected ship into like a super ship. Local to you, to your selection. So like the first time most players would be like, they'll just pick upgrades that look good to them. That's fine. And in fact, the ship upgrade tree makes more sense in a traditional context. So this is just the upgrade tree for this one ship. So I said I want to do more exploration stuff. So I'm going to go for exploration upgrades. So this is one of the big upgrades, the rare upgrades. So this is Exploring Specialist. It makes all exploring upgrades cheaper. It also helps my discovery speed, and vision range and movement speed. So that sounds great. So I'm going to just move over there. So I'm going to go get some cheap acceleration. I'm going to get some navigation, which is movement speed and turn speed. And then I'm going to get this big whomping upgrade that will give me a good boost to exploring right off the bat. You already saw this. The fog ward got pushed away. I'm also going to pick up some cargo space so I can hold more stuff. Speed's always good. Vision range is always good. I don't really care about this upgrade, but it doesn't hurt. Now this is another rare upgrade that is a lot of fun. And by the way, this only applies to this ship. So exotic goods, 1% sale price per kilometer from the purchase source, minus 10% sale price. So essentially, this incentivizes you to buy or find things to sell on one end of the map and sell them on the other. What I am looking for is things to help my exploration capabilities. It is randomly generated, but it is pseudo-organized. So essentially what it's doing is it is cutting the upgrade tree into like hours of a clock, essentially. And I'm really blind right there. There it is. There's the center. So essentially, it looks like fishing stuff might be over here. So it essentially assigns a portion of the tree to be biased to a category of upgrades. So there are sort of categories. You have to kind of feel them out, though. There are also numerous upgrades to help reveal the tree. So over here is Key Insight, which reveals the rarest upgrades. And then there's also just regular Insight, which just expands what you can currently see. So I think I'm going to wait for this one, because I don't have money for it if I come out of gold entirely. So I'm going to have to wait to get some more gold. So now that the ship has some discovery on it, you're going to see that it is getting map fragments. So this is cartography. So just by having some discovery, your ships can now create maps, which can be sold. So I'm actually I can make money just by exploring the world, which is perfect because that's kind of what I want to test right now. So I can go explore these shipwrecks. There's a waiver, so waivers give me a freebie, a mulligan if I don't beat my competitor. Oh, and I just ran into some kind of error. You missed some major refactoring that was going on. I'm just going to ignore these errors just for the sake of showing you the game. We'll have to come back and figure these out. Interesting. I didn't realize I had this hooked to a scheduled event. I do, and that's why. Okay, well, all right, I'm just gonna ignore the errors for now, and because those are not serious errors. So pretty much every aspect of the game can be upgraded in some fashion. So like if you don't like the wiggle over things, you can you can make it faster to wiggle, like you can pick up more coins per wiggle, or you can just do the opposite. You can optimize your ship's natural ability to collect. Treasure chest there. I just realized the music is not playing for you guys because I switched to gameplay stream. So the interesting thing about the maps are that you want to wait until they become atlases. So you'll see that I'm just getting map fragments, but then when I get 10 map fragments, that turns into a regular map. 10 regular maps turn to detailed maps, and 10 detailed maps become an atlas. And atlases are worth the most, so you sell them at the Cartographers Guild. So you can see over here the prices. So 450 gold per atlas, 30 gold per detailed map, 2 gold per map. So you really, really want to essentially accumulate as many maps as possible before selling. I'm going to, apparently I cannot get close enough to discover this thing. Didn't say it. Thank you, yes, I did spend some time to put some background sounds. This is an ancient temple, so this is a place where you can deliver passengers, worshippers too. So there are various landmarks. Make that smaller now, it's rather massive. I am adding a task to do that. Okay. So you can buy and sell corn, do maps, you can explore as I am right now, you can fish. Eventually you're going to be able to chop down trees, you're going to be able to mine. Those don't exist quite yet. So You're scored every 3 minutes. So I'm almost done with my first period here. I'm going to win by a long shot. Problem. So in the first period, it does get much harder later on. This is my end of period report. So my one ship got 292 gold. I just need to earn more than my competitor. So my competitor got 73. I got 292. No problem. Easy peasy. I have 3 waivers in the bank, so I can miss up to 3 periods. This objective is very absurd. So the normal game is only 10 periods long. But I've accomplished that, so it's giving me an extreme objective. There are levels. Oh, what are the Go Explore arrows? So the game is just giving you a hint of what to do. So if you're idle, it just is hinting to you, try doing this thing. So it's essentially telling you to go explore, meaning that you would get more map fragments by exploring the world. Now, admittedly, it feels like that. Oh, it's because it's based on the number of upgrades, I think. Eventually, those arrows go away once you upgrade your ship a bit. Now, I can get more ships. So there's 2 ways to get ships. In your skipper tree, there are extra ships, but they're unupgraded. Also, once you get promoted to Commodore, you can buy ships from there as well. I do have a lot of experience, so I should go upgrade something. So I can just make the current ship I have just kind of more useful. You just kind of look around and you kind of check out these big nodes and see what's interesting. So this is one of the rare keystone upgrades. Every 5 seconds moving, 20% chance to gain 1 ration. You gain plus 50% fishing rate, but you lose. You have to fight against the wind. 40% headwind resistance, minus 40% headwind resistance. Yes. So as soon as I buy another ship, I will show you. Just because I've been prioritizing exploring. Exploring is very much more of a manual task. Fishing is not a manual task. That being said, like if I wanted to automate exploring, I could. So like I could like zoom out and say like I want this exploration ship to go over here, and I can hold down shift, go over there, go over here, go over here. And then I want you to go sell at this town, and then I want you to loot by shift clicking on your own ship. So now this ship will just automatically just go in that loop and sell the maps. And it's all just done with shift clicking. I have some gold. I'm gonna go upgrade my ship some more. So I wanted to get this. This is going to be useful, especially for this ship, because he's going to be picking up maps from all over the place. And then when they get sold, they're worth more the further away from where they were picked up. So that seems like a good synergy with this ship. You'll see that I'm going to avoid things that just don't help the ship. So like fishing upgrades, I'm not going to pick them up. Now something like this is useful. Transfer rate, just quicker. You pick up stuff quicker. So this is one of those keystone upgrades. Good night's sleep. 100% work rate during the day. Minus 2% work rate per fatigue. Fatigue is a resource that exists on a ship. Just how fatigued your ship is. Plus 1 fatigue per 10 seconds. But at night, you are 50% slower, but you lose 3 fatigue per 10 seconds. So that's actually not bad by itself. It would boost my work rate a lot. I will continue to think about that. I tend to wait off onto the keystones until I find some like powerful synergy it goes with. So like there are a lot of upgrades that will manipulate fatigue or momentum or rations, and you get huge bonuses when you use them frequently. So like I can tell you there's an upgrade that will give you like more gold per sale if you are more fatigued. What I really want to pick up is like this. This is more discover intensity, meaning that I'm picking up more map fragments per tick. So here is some vision range. That's always useful. I am out of gold though. So you might be thinking, man, it's super tedious to have to, keep on checking the upgrade trees. Well, there's a solution for that too. So there are some upgrades that always appear. And if you can't find them, you can use one of the Keystone Insight upgrades. This. Key Insight. We're going to go over here. So Key Insight will reveal three Keystone upgrades. So it revealed that. There's an extra ship. So I want to work my way over there. There's another ship. And there's upgrade queuing. Good point. That's a good idea. I can do that. I like that. I'm writing that down in my project management. Thank you for the idea. That's a good point. So upgrade queuing allows you to use shift to queue up upgrades, so then you don't need to manually buy them. So I'm going to work my way towards this direction of the tree. So you can see that this part of the tree seems to be themed after upgrades, like generic upgrades. So I'm going to go up that way. Go, upgrade queuing. So now I can just use shift click to queue up things. So for example, right here, like I like this one. So this is cartographic artistry. This boosts your discovery intensity, so meaning how fast you make maps, and how quickly you can unbury a landmark. So I want to pick that up. I also want the ship, and one's a prerequisite to the other. So I can just hold down shift, queue up that, and now automatically, once I get enough gold, it'll buy the new ship, and automatically, once I have enough experience and the prerequisites are met, it will get that upgrade. So now, because of those upgrades I got from a ship, he's getting 9 map fragments per second, which means I'm already up to 1 atlas, which is worth like 360 gold or something. By the way, if you ever lose your ship, got a zoom the ship button. There is nothing out here except for fish and water. So I want to get some gold, so I think I'm gonna not use the automated route just because I want to go pick up gold. So there's lots of shipwrecks and other landmarks. Currently, the only one is the wind, and you actually have to like opt in to a lot of things. So I'm trying to have the game, everything's kind of opt-in. So like my ship is slow right now because it's fighting against the wind a bit because I chose an upgrade that reduced my headwind resistance. Eventually I'm going to have storms. It's on the list to do. I just haven't gotten there yet. The other pseudo-environmental hazards, it's not really a hazard, but it impacts things, is that towns have demand. And the competitor can screw with you. The competitor can like empty out like fishing spots. So You'll see like maps here is for, oh, actually that's not a good example. So I got through that, I earned more than my competitor. My competitor did better. I did a little worse, but I'm still beating. So you'll see that there's demand. The more you sell, the less demand there is. So there's these little particles. Also, the flags actually line up. So the flags on your orders match the wind, and your selection flag, your current selected ship, matches. See, just because of the upgrades I chose already for transfer rate, transfer amount, and the skipper upgrades, like my ship's already much faster collecting naturally. So I just automatically bought that ship. If you saw the little pop-up that said new ship. So there it is. So I'm going to go make this ship a fishing ship. So I'm going to find a port with that accepts fish. This accepts fish. So I'm going to go over there. Yes, you can mouse over things in the fog of war, which is kind of funny. It is very convenient. I don't know if I'm going to keep it, but yes, like right now, it is very hard to see when it's midday. Brightness and darkness is because of time of day. So now it's becoming night. They will get bigger if you zoom in, of course, these particles. Okay, so now I'm Commodore. Which means I get access to yet another upgrade tree. So the fleet upgrade tree, as it says here, Commodore upgrades are applied to the entire fleet. So every single upgrade I choose here, every single ship benefits from it. So it's very powerful. So like just getting that added 1% work rate to every one of my ships. So as you get more ships, it becomes very powerful. So what I want to find here is of course, I can go look for interesting keystones, and you get into very interesting synergies where you can have synergies like across like your Commodore upgrades, your ship upgrades, and your skipper upgrades. You can get duplicates of the same keystone because many of the keystones exist on multiple trees. So like, for example, I like exotic goods. I showed you that upgrade that gives you more gold the further you sell something from where you got it from. You can get exotic goods on all 3 upgrade trees. So then you could get 3 times the exotic goods bonus. Market Rush gives you a 2% sale price increase per momentum, so that would be good if we had something generating momentum. This is rations. This is if you get extra gold if you are below quota. I'm looking for skeleton crew only with a fleet of 3 or less ships, 100% work rate, minus 50% personal work rate. Personal work rate is how much your wiggling helps. You need to wiggle over the icon. So essentially, you are just doubling down on your ships doing the work instead of you, which is generally what most players should likely do. So this is a pretty good upgrade, especially if you don't like to have many ships. Okay, so that shouldn't be blinky, but this adds a cartography ship. I gotta make a note of that. So I want fishing. So just because this upgrade's over here, that kind of indicates this is not the direction I want to go for finding fishing ships. I could add another cartography ship to my fleet, but I personally tend to only have one cartography ship at a time. Okay, here's fishing ship. I'll add fishing ship is also blinky. Give me a sec. I can just fix these right now. Okay, so this, for 432 gold, I can just straight up buy a fishing ship. And what that does is it automatically buys a bunch of upgrades on its upgrade tree when the ship is bought. So I don't have enough gold for it now, but I'm just going to queue it up, and it will automatically buy itself when I have enough gold. So I'm going to take this ship and go over here and just keep exploring. Okay, this ship is over here. This dock does accept fish. So I'm going to turn this ship into a fishing ship. So I'm just going to queue up to go to some fishing spots and then go back to the dock and look. So he will catch fish now. So yes, just like the other things, I can assist it in fishing, which is great for superpowering it, but it's also tedious when you're going fishing. So I'm going to find on this ship's tree, I'm going to find this upgrade, Fishing Specialist. It essentially gives you fishing upgrades discount, which is nice, and it gives you plus 100 fishing rate. So that will make it a passable fishing ship. And then I'm just going to keep hunting down fishing rate upgrades. That is the quick and easy way to get this ship going. Cargo space is always great because then the ship doesn't need to go back to port often. So these. This is a fun upgrade. So fish oil vitamins. Consume one fish per sail for a 100% sail boost. So if you have a ship that holds a lot of cargo and you're catching some like common fish and some rare fish, for example, you can really boost your sales. Also, this is per sail. So if you have bulk sales will sell more than one fish at a time. So to consume one fish, but then maybe you're selling 2 fish or 3 fish at a time. So then you're not eating as many of your fish, which is boosting your sale price. It's an interesting upgrade. So I like it. This is a fun fish upgrade. Dynamite fishing. You can catch fish with dynamite instead. The problem is that you end up with a lot of fish chump, fish guts. And so that's why there's fishing efficiency upgrades. You can reduce how much fish you waste by blowing them up. But on the flip side, you catch tons of fish. You can empty like a fishing spot in just a few explosives. So it's very much a low quality, mass quantity strategy. Okay, so there's some good upgrades over here. So I want those once I have gold. So fishy pricing adds 1 gold per sale of fish. This is goldfish, which adds, this is just pure gambling. 1% chance per fish sale to earn 10 times its normal value. So I'm going to buy those. I'll just queue them up. Alright, I'm just going to let this guy do his thing. So he can, I've already looped up his orders. He's going to visit these fishing spots. He's going to fish, see how much faster he's fishing already. And he will sell once he's full. So I'm going to go babysit my exploration ship. So Fairwind did a lot better this time, though I was helping him pick up gold. Competitor is getting better each time. Two atlases on it. So essentially what I like to do with my cartography ships is I like to wait until I am behind quota and then sell. So I use it as a way to save my butt. Yes, they can and they will. There's one competitor ship there. Is that the same one? Nope, there's two already. So it looks like they are, I think they're buying corn. Yeah, they're buying corn and they're selling it over here at the farmer's market. So you can do some subtle manipulation of the economy. So you could buy up all the corn so that they can't buy corn. You could also sell. Oh, there's my fishing ship with selling right there. So selling is very much like a slot machine. I guess you haven't really gotten to see it yet because I've been doing testing exploration stuff. But it goes ching, ching, very, very fun. So like I could plummet the sale price by just flooding the market with corn here and do some manipulations, screw over the competitor. There's a lot more to be done in terms of actually making screwing your competitor more worthwhile. I bought another ship. There he is. Alright, so this was a pre-fishing ship. So let's take a look at what he has. So if I coded it right, which appears that I didn't. So he was supposed to buy fishing upgrades. In fact, this looks like a generic ship. Out of curiosity. Not right now, but I like that idea. So yeah, so combat is going to be a thing. I am saving combat for like a DLC or something. I just felt that the game is pretty intriguing, focusing on economy right now, and I think adding combat would have just turned the game more into a normal RTS where you're just shooting stuff. So I really wanted to like fully explore economic side of things and then add combat later on. So actually the main thing you're supposed to be fighting based off of the Steam art are sea monsters. So the plan is that as you get towards the end of the 10 periods, there's gonna be more and more sea monsters attacking you. So essentially you need to protect your fleet. So I like the idea of stealing. That's a really good idea. That's fun. Yes, exactly. Another idea that's slightly related to your stealing idea is just having a logistics ship. So a ship whose sole job is to pick up stuff and transfer it. So right now you tend, just because you can't transfer things from one ship to another, you end up, every ship needs to be kind of good at selling things. So you end up buying some kind of like sale price upgrades for every ship. I think it would be very cool if you could make a ship who's the dedicated merchant. You know, a hauling ship whose job is just to pick up the loot, the cargo from your other ships whose only job is to get the loot, get the cargo. And then you have like one ship or two ships, whatever, they're just like super good at selling things. I think that would be a fun build. And I have the beginning of that set up. What was I looking for? So I actually have an upgrade. Well, I guess you're not going to be able to see it anymore. Oh yeah, you can see it in this ship, this same ship. There, I do have the beginnings of that hauling specialist, which would be the beginning of the ability to transfer from one ship to another. Yes, I think the avoiding shooty for a bit is not a bad idea. All right, so I think the reason why that ship didn't pre-buy fishing is because, okay, no, it should have. I was checking if it did use add fishing ship, and it did. So I don't know. I gotta figure that out. It's my first time buying a specialty ship. But alright. He will do fishing anyway, but I'm gonna have him set up camp somewhere else. You are going to go over here. So my exploring ship did much poorer, but it doesn't matter. My new fishing ship made up for it. And you can see your top upgrades. So you can see fish oil vitamins, that upgrade I liked, that you eat a fish, but you increase the sale price. That is paying off. It's 151 gold just from that. Okay, this does accept fish, so this ship can become a new fishing ship. He will fish this stuff and sell it. So I need to upgrade him. I'm going to grab the fishing specialist. I guess I'm just kind of going fishing for these ships for this round. That doesn't seem bad. A ton of movement speed and acceleration. So I gotta keep my eye out where fishing upgrades are seen to be kind of this way, so I'm gonna go this way. So this is plus 50% work rate. I'm not gonna help these ships, so I don't care if I lose 50% work rate, so I'm gonna queue that. This is heavy fishing gear. A slower ship, but much faster fishing speed. I like that. Queue that up because I'm out of gold. And I can't really see much else right now. I could do a dynamite fish. I could do a dynamite ship. That might be funny. So those are the insight upgrades. So it greatly expands my vision. I do see a lot of fishing efficiency upgrades. So you know what? I'm going to try it just for giggles. I haven't done it for a long time. I'm going to do the dynamite fishing with this ship. So if I do dynamite fishing, I actually don't need fishing rate, because fishing rate ends up just being how fast you throw the explosives. It doesn't really matter. Because you're going to be filling up your cargo really fast. So really what you want is cargo and transfer speed and bulk sales. Oh, this is good. Loop Hero. Loop Hero is great. Loop Hero is you get +1 gold per sale per loop through your orders. So essentially every time this fishing ship will go back to dock to sell, it's going to earn 1 more gold per item it sells. And this is going to work really well because I'm doing the dynamite strategy. So I'm going to be selling lots of little crappy things. Quantity over quality. So this plus 40% sale prices when in view. I don't want that. There is a similar upgrade that gives you a bonus when you're not seeing the ship. I don't have anything with momentum, so that is a nice upgrade. So like I can plan out, like I have 17 upgrades queued, like I can plan pretty far into the future. So this is social schools. Every time you catch a fish, there's a 10% chance you catch another fish, random rarity. This actually, I don't remember how the triggers work, but I think when you explode the fish, it's going to trigger this for each exploded fish you pick up, you collect. So that could be really cool. All right, I think. Oh, I need to pick up. In fact, I probably should do this sooner or later. I should pick up all the fishing efficiency upgrades. All right, I'm excited about this. I just need to. I do have a way to get a bunch of gold. I have 3 atlases on this ship right now, which that would be worth 900 gold. Tell that I can hear the explosions. These exploding fish. What's the little Sauron Easter egg? Oh, yes. Yes. I think this ship's going to be hilarious in the near future. See, it just lobs one dynamite, whoosh, just gets a ton of fish. So notice I'm wasting a lot of fish though. 11 chum, 5 actual fish. Also needs to get more cargo space because it's going to fill up real fast with dynamite. On my fleet, I don't want to spend too much gold. That totally did did add a fishing ship, but it did not buy the fishing upgrade. That is definitely a bug. Making note of that. Okay. So for my fleet, I am thinking that I can find some upgrades that will help So I have multiple fishing ships now. So getting fishing rate upgrades on my Commodore tree would help both those fishing ships. And any kind of speed upgrades will help them too. Ah, this is what I wanted. Exotic goods. That is universally awesome. Because now I'm going to have 2 exotic goods impacting my cartography ship. And since he's selling maps that he's obtained from all over, I just should sell those maps on the, like, the opposite end of the world. And then I'm going to get tons of money. So we're going to... I don't really like picking up discovery upgrades, but I'm going to have to. I usually like to only have the ships that I want to have discovery on to have discovery upgrades. Because if I pick up one of these upgrades, then all ships are going to start drawing maps, which is not terrible. I mean, you can sell them, but it can waste. Atlases take up cargo space, but the other map types don't. Whatever, not a big deal. Doing upgrades like this on the Commodore tree can be hilarious and dangerous. So, like, this is challenging negotiations. It gives you plus 25% gold per sale, which is nice, especially if you're selling expensive things. Minus 1% gold per fatigue, and then plus 1 fatigue per sale. So you can very quickly, like that dynamite ship is going to be selling tons of items. So that ship could very quickly get to 100% fatigue, which means that it would be minus 100% gold per sale, which means you're making like nothing. So I think I capped you always make 1 gold, but very dangerous if you choose these keystone upgrades without a plan. Now, that being said, you could pair that with something like this. Plus 1 gold per sale, 1% chance per fatigue to double sale price, minus 1 fatigue for sale. So if you did both of these together, you would be always getting plus 25% gold, and you'd be getting perhaps a 1% chance to double sale price, which sounds pretty cool to me. Especially for that dynamite ship. I'm going to do this one first, because this is... if I have it queue up this one first, then there's a chance that I will fatigue my ships, my whole fleet, before it can get rid of the fatigue. So it's safer for me to do this and this. Bunch of fishing. This will help both my fishing ships. This will help my fishing ships. Okay. I'm gonna queue up more places for him to fish, because he's going to run out of places to fish because he's blowing them all up. Yes, it is. Probably late in the day for you. It's only 4:49 p.m. here. Well, pleasure showing you the game. Glad you came by. Hopefully you'll come by again soon. Oh, well, thank thank you. I'm glad you like its appearance. By all means, critique if you have the aesthetic eye. Actually, in hindsight, it is 5 o'clock here, and my wife and I are going to meet a friend for dinner near future. So instead of taking a break and then coming back for a short time and leaving, might as well just end the stream here. Thanks for joining. Fixed a lot of things, a lot of cool mechanics coming out. I really want to continue playing this game. I want to see how cool I can make that dynamite ship become. I don't know if I'll have it on stream, unfortunately, but